Hello everyone, welcome back to Alkaline Hydroxide 784, and today is the first episode of Digital Tools. And yeah, this we are gonna start with the basics of the basics, which is Microsoft Word. I know this sounds like a really stupid thing to start with, but I'm just gonna do this anyways because Microsoft Word is something that we just use to type stuff and maybe I don't know, yeah, just type stuff. That's what we do with it. And then we do like a spelling check and then we see how many words there are, and that's pretty much all we do with it. But there's a lot of other features that are there which may be useful for you if in the future, I suppose. Right, so I'm just gonna go through this version of Microsoft Word. I think this is like I got this last year. This version is from last year. So hopefully this will have like most of the latest features that are there in Word. Okay, so the first thing that you can actually do is, obviously save your file. So if you click on file, you can see that, it's home, you can create a new one, you can open one. And under new, you can see different, kinds of documents that you can do. So if you want to actually create something that's not just a plain document, but you want like a calendar or you want something specific, you can actually click from here. So you can even click more templates and browse through the bunch of templates. Of course, there are definitely online websites that allow you to do this nowadays, but if you want to go through Microsoft Word and use that, you can definitely do it. There's all kinds of different templates. So using one of these templates will give you this. For example, if I click this, right, I will get this thing in a new document. So it will, before you use it, you have to first download it, and then you can create a new document with this exact stuff shown on the screen right now. So then you'll be able to edit these text sections here and also the picture and everything, but it'll be in that format. So that's the idea of templates. There's even a thing that allows you to take a tour of Word, so if you want, you can click that. There's all kinds of different formats, and you are free to search and then see which template that you want. But which template you would like to use in a sense. But of course, most of the time you're just going to be using a new document. So like it's a blank document, so you can just click this and you get a new blank document. So since I already have one open, I'm just going to use this. Right, so here we have a bunch of tabs. And the first thing you can do is, you can choose whether to see these tabs or not. So if I click here, this button called ribbon display, you can actually choose to hide the ribbon, which will hide it unless you do this. Then you can click, and then after you're done, it'll just hide it again. Or you can choose to show only the blue tabs, so it will only show up once you click one of the tabs, and once you unclick it, the option disappears. And if you click this, it will show everything the full time, and it'll show everything at the same time. So that's the idea of this display ribbon. So the next thing is we saw file. There's also home. So this is the first page that you'll probably be going when you start typing. And of course, we have our pasting. We have the format painter, which I am pretty sure you guys know what that is. So for example, if I type two bunches of text here, and maybe I copy pasted something from the internet, and that is like in a different format. Maybe this is a different format, and I want it to be in this format. So what I can do, I can highlight this, click this, and then highlight this thing, and it will become the same format as the other thing. So that's pretty basic. I think everyone knows how to do this, hopefully. And apart from using the format painter, if you want to just customize the format of your font, you can choose from here. There's all kinds of theme fonts. And if you want your own customized font that is not found here, you can search online and get a font and download it into the system. It usually works, so you can do that. You can also change the size, likewise. And you can make it bold, you can make it italic, you can underline it. Of course, there are definitely keyboard shortcuts, which are the things that you can see in a bracket. So for example, italic is Control I, bold is Control B, and so on and so forth. You can even strike through, and yeah, so you can do all these things. Another thing that you can do is you can use these two allow you to subscript and superscript. So for example, you're writing a chemical formula like CO2, and you don't want to go through the math formula thing. So what you can do, you can just highlight the two and then click this, then it becomes CO2. Yay. So that's that. So apart from the basic stuff, which I think you'll be using most of the time, there are other options as well. Here you can actually increase the font size of the thing without using this. So what this will do is you can increase it this way. So it will allow you to increase it incrementally by just clicking the button. And there's also a changing case, which will allow you to change the case in various ways. So this one will shows you how each of the cases are changed. So sentence means only the first letter is capital. Lowercase means everything's lowercase. Uppercase means everything is uppercase. Capitalize each word. You get what I mean. So toggle case is like it makes the lowercase uppercase, makes uppercase lowercase, or something like that. So that's what it does. And we even have a clear all formatting. So let's say if I take this and I click clear all formatting, it'll go back to what is the original default form and size and everything. So there's also font color and text highlight color, and also these special things that maybe not everyone might have used. So let's actually look through these options here. So these are text effects and typography. I guess you might have used these things because they're just there, so you can just click it and then it will become one of those things. But if you don't want to do that, you can choose your own outline. I don't think it's recommended to use the outline though. It looks kind of weird to put an outline on a text. You can use the outline, or you can give a shadow of sorts. So it actually does this. You can see a sad shadow over here, or you can even give a reflection like this, or you can give a glow of different colors. So you can see, oh my gosh, this is scary. And you can even do this, and you might be wondering what this is. I also don't really know what this is. I never used it. Oh no. So if I put this here, this is a default proportional, so it kind of squeezes them together, so it keeps all of them in the same like the small space accordingly. And then this is spaced equally. Okay, cool. This is proportional old style. Oh, so this is based on how it was written in the old days. So I guess maybe they wrote the 1 and 2 in a separate size than 3, 4, and 5. And yeah, there's a bunch of other options like that. So what is ligatures? Okay, ligatures is like special extra things that you can add to your letters. So maybe the accents, or you can, if you think of the old way of writing, there's like little curly things at the ends of the, yeah, so ends of the letters. Apart from that, there's also stylistic sets, which looks kind of weird. So yeah, these are stylistic sets that you can use. I don't think anyone's gonna use this though. So okay, so that aside, let's go and look at the other the next section, which is the paragraph section. So here we have the bullets, and there's not just a normal bullet, but there's also these. Oh my gosh, why is it? Let me clear all formatting here. Oh no. Okay, can. So I can have the normal bullets, or this hollow looking bullet, or you have a square. We have this weird colorful thing. We have the 4 squares. We have this arrow thing and a check mark. So these are the basic settings. You can choose which kind of bullet you have. And there's also another kind of setting which you can use to change the list level. So we have different list levels, which is kind of useful when you're doing a research paper, or maybe like some certain list under list kind of scenario. So you can use this to push it in a bit, like adding a tab to your list, and then you can define another list underneath it. So for example, if I say this and I want to create a new list underneath this list, so I can actually do this. Obviously I'm just typing gibberish. So if I want to go back to the previous list, then how do I do that? I can just click this again. How do I? Oh yeah, actually I can just do this. I can click this thing. This will decrease the indent and it will go back to the previous one. So this is like using the tab. So this is the opposite of the tab, and this is what will give you the tab. So it will push it in or out. And each of the indents gives you a different bullet, but you can actually change it according to your liking. So if you want these bullets to look different, maybe you want it to look like this, you can actually just edit it accordingly. So apart from bullets, you can even choose numbers, and yeah, there's numbers and alphabets of different kinds. So you can see here. There's also this is actually kind of like the list level as well. So you can choose what kind of list level you want. If you prefer any of these particular formats. I think this is the kind that is used in research papers actually, because you can see there is 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, and this will be under 1, for example. So that is the list level. So sorting. Okay, so here you can actually sort the different paragraphs and the text according to alphabetical order. So if I click this, it will sort the G before the L or the H basically. So it will sort everything in alphabetical order. And there's other ways of sorting as well, ascending, descending, you can use text, number, or date even. So you can do all of this. And this is a show and hide. So what this does is you can this will show what are the other formatting symbols that are there, which kind of allows you to understand how everything is, arranged in this whole setup. So here you can see the 1.1 has a square next to it, right? So it's just saying that this is kind of like putting the normal bullet point on it. So for example, if I were to say tab something something, here there is no like extra thing here. So maybe, so if I tab, it gives a different thing, and it's just showing that this is linked to this text in a way. So it's not very interesting, so let me just close this. So that so the next thing I want to do here is to look at the spacing. Let me remove the format as well. Okay, so we have two lines here, and this is in standard align left, so it always align to the left margin. So we have center, we have right, we have justify, which is something that allows you to stretch it over the entire window, but here it doesn't seem to do that. Maybe if I do this, no, it doesn't do that. Okay, fine. I'll just make it align left. And there's also the paragraph spacing. So there's 1 until 3, and you can even put your own options as well. So this is another thing that you can do actually, which is to add space before paragraph or remove the space before after the paragraph. And this will help you save some space if maybe you want to save some paper but you're typing a lot of notes. Then you can actually remove the space if you're fine with it, I guess, and you can save a lot of space that way. So that's one way to save paper by saving the space in between the lines. So yeah. Okay, so this thing will basically color the entire line, some color. So yeah, that's that thing. And this is for a table, so we'll get to that later. So apart from all of this, there's also these other ways of doing things. So there's styles of all kinds. There's a normal, no spacing, heading, blah blah blah, all these things. So if you want to explore, you can do that on your own. So there's these things. Oh yeah, by the way, if you click any of this, it'll pop up in some way. So it'll either pop up on the side or like a separate window on this side. So this just gives you extra options to choose from. So another important useful tool is this particular area here, which is to find and replace. So let's say I want to, you know, I just want to find the word or something. So let me just type something. Okay, so I'm done typing, and now I want to find a word in this whole thing. So what word do I want to find? I can click this find. So I can either click find, advanced find, or go to. So I just click find because I don't have anything advanced to find. But if you want to look at advanced find, you can click find word. Then or you can click find and replace. Basically, it just shows everything in one single window. So you can even go to a certain page, section, line, etc., etc. So if you want to just use the basic finding, then you can use this. So for example, if I want to find the letter M, I can find all the instances of the letter N, and it even shows the surrounding words. Or if I want to find the hello, it will show where hello is. But as you can see, the first one has a bunch of extra O's after it. If I don't want that, I can press a space, and you only find this particular hello, which is a properly spelled hello. So likewise, I can find anything I want. So let's say I want to replace one of the lessons included. So maybe science, I want to replace it with a different lesson. So what I can do is instead of just clicking find, I can click to replace. So if I say find what science, I can say replace it with geography or something like that. So if I do this, I can click replace all, and it will say, oh, we did this one replacement, or you can just replace one by one as well if you're interested in that. So this is what you can do with the find and replace. There's also a select here, which you can use to select all kinds of things. And yeah, I don't usually use this. So anyway, let's move on. We go to insert. So insert is, well, you can insert anything you want using the insert tab. Yeah. So the first bunch of options here is you can insert a cover page. So if I click this, you can choose a cover page, and it will insert a page in front of everything with this particular format. So you can do that. Then you can also include a blank page, which will just include a new page. Or you can even include a page break, which means that after this sentence, it will go to the next page already. So if you type two different paragraphs, maybe you want to separate them by a page, you can click page break and it will separate these two paragraphs with a page break. So that's what this does. That's the first thing you can include, actual pages. The second thing you can include is a table. So and maybe let me just include a table here. And once you do it, it will bring you to the table tools. So you have the design and the layout. I will leave it to you to explore this on your own, but you can choose to show anything you want in terms of the styling options and everything here. You can even have banded columns and banded rows and everything. So this will allow you to, customize your table a bit, and you can choose anything you want. There's even shading apparently, so you can shade the different, rectangles here with different colors if you want to. There's also border styles, so yeah, there's all kinds of options here. You can even adjust the kind of line that you're using and the width of the line. You can even choose which borders you want to actually include and which ones you want it to be like more hidden or something. Or maybe if you just want no border. So if I undo all of this, you can see that here the border, this particular one has basically three of these borders removed. So you can actually influence individual ones, or you can influence everything at the same time. There's also a border painter. There's a draw table. It's easier to just do this. Just use this and just do whatever you want. Oh, I think what the border painter does is just colors it or something. You can do something special with the border painter. Anyways, that's not very interesting. So you can add, if you go to layout, then you can change the number of cells in the table. So you can draw lines in the table and add extra columns and stuff like that. You can insert in either way. if you select more than one, then it will insert that many more rows or columns. You can even merge the cells, or you can split the cells in certain ways, or you can split the table in certain ways. So you can do all these things, so that's great. So apart from a table, what else can you insert? You can insert a picture. You can either insert from your own device, or you can insert it from online pictures. So if I click online pictures, what will it do? So you can see there's a whole bunch of pictures that's given by Bing, and you can then select one picture to add. So I won't do that because I'm not sure these things are copyrighted. So apart from pictures, you can include any shape, just like the kind that you can find in PowerPoint. So for example, if I can put a trapezoid in some random part of the document. I can adjust the shape color and all that stuff as well. I can even edit the shape points. So if I want to make this trapezium look very weird, I can do this. One looks like one of those Penrose pieces now. Okay, so I can do different things with the shape as well. So in terms of the formatting, you can even select all these styles. I can put in a text if I want to. I can use the text effects as well. I can do all these things. So okay, so this part here is okay, so this is something that allows you to describe this particular thing by um I don't know, maybe you can say weird trapezium. So if somebody who cannot see it, they can kind of listen to this, I guess. Um let's get back to this. So there's this thing here which allows it to anchor this to this particular location here. So apart from alternate, like this for accessibility purposes, so that's not really an issue here. You also have aligning text. So you can align the text to the top, middle, or bottom of this thing. You can even put the position of this object, which will put it in different parts of the document. So yeah, that's one thing. You can even wrap text around the object. You can maybe say like text can go I don't know, in line with text or something. So you can arrange how the text behaves next to this object. So maybe I can say this, and then if I select the different forms of wrapping text, I can do this. So this one does different things to the text. So you can even put the text in front of the thing. So maybe if I click behind text, what happens is when I type this thing, so if I make this really long, you can see that the text is going above the image as well. So yeah, I can do all kinds of funny things with this. Yeah, so apart from wrapping text, you can do all these things as well, bring it forward or backward accordingly. If I bring it forward, what happens? Bring to the front. Okay, it doesn't do that because this is different from the text. So if there's two or more different shapes, then this can be brought in front of other shapes or behind other shapes. There's also a selection pane which will allow you to bring things forward and backwards accordingly. So if there's a lot of objects and you don't know how to keep track of everything, you can use this instead to drag something up and below. There's also aligning option here, so you can align it in the middle or something like that. So you can align it in different parts. You can even rotate the shape, so you can rotate it in very weird ways. Like yeah, so likewise you can do all that. You can also change the size of the shape as we see in here, and you can even open it up and then select more different options. So you can use absolute size based on your ruler measurements and relative size based on the document size. So relative to page, like the percentage relative to page. So yeah, that's what's there here. So apart from shapes, you can add icons, which is what I've been doing in all of my GPO videos. And these icons, there are lots of them. And yeah, you can just put them in as you need. So you can just click one and then insert it. Yeah, to just insert it wherever you put your cursor. And you can even change the color of this, you can change the outline. But you cannot change the actual size, I think, because okay, actually you can unlock the aspect ratio, but generally you would end up keeping it locked, and it will just increase proportionally. You can do the same thing that you do with a shape. So I don't think there's anything new to. Can you convert it to a shape if you want? So, oh wow, that's great. You can even make the individual parts into shapes. And I can remove them accordingly. So if I don't like this, now I only have these two, which is great, right? Wonderful. So, so yeah, that's basically how that works. Next thing you can include is a 3D model, which is a thing that I've been using. Okay, maybe not. I've been using this, and this will, you can select a bunch of different 3D models. I'm just gonna select something very simple, like I don't know, maybe just choose a letter or something. So yeah, there's all kinds of weird looking letters here. I'm just gonna select an A because alkaline hydroxide, and then yeah, this is here. You can drag it around. You can even rotate it. This is pretty cool. I can rotate it upside down. I can select one of these viewing options. Unfortunately, you can't change the color of these things. You can only change the color of the background, which is quite, funny, but okay. So this is the 3D model tools. Yeah, you can change the size, you can pan it around, but you can't do anything else much than that. Yeah, you can just move it around. That's the thing, that's how these things work. So yeah, that's about it for that part. So next thing you can add is smart art. So smart art is wonderful in a way. It used to be the big thing that I really liked before all of these new things came here and made things even more interesting. So smart art should be there even in older versions, and yeah, you can choose different options, and this is just a way to display certain data. So it can look pretty interesting. Some of them have like very interesting, especially this one. I really like this. It's really fun. And there's even one which like gears and everything. So there's gears and stuff like that. So if you're interested to show your data or whatever maybe you want to do your notes in a very interesting way, you can use smart art to do it. It makes it much more interesting. Even this, I don't know what this is. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so you can just play around with this. So okay, if let's say you want to add one of this, especially maybe the gear one, if I add the gear one, what will it do? We'll just add it here. Unfortunately, I put it in the wrong position. Oops, never mind. I guess I can't really drag this around. Let me get rid of that. That. Okay, never mind. I don't care about that. Let me get rid of the other things here. Never mind about that trapezium then. So here you can edit each of the text, so it will edit the text accordingly as to what you type here. So it will just edit it accordingly, and you can also change the color because it is too boring. So you can change the colors, you can even change the format of the thing, so it will look different based on what you choose. Yeah. And yeah, there's even other options here, so you can demote or you can move up or move down or whatever that is. So you can even add extra bullets and stuff like that. So that's pretty much it. Right, so there's also the option just to include a normal chart, and usually you don't really use this because you just do everything in Excel and then just copy paste the chart here. So these are the same charts that you can see in Excel as well. So you can just use one of these charts and can even add data to the chart directly. So for example, if I use a scatter chart, I can okay, wait for this to come. I can then use this to add some values. I can put the values here and it will automatically update. So that's how this works. So that's the scatter chart, and you can even do other things with this, I suppose. You can add all your chart elements and everything that you can do in the chart. Okay, cool. There's also the chart design and everything as well. So apart from charts and smart art and everything, let me go to a different page. Don't know what's going on with my cursor is a bit weird. Okay, can you add a screenshot? So you know, you can take a screenshot of something. So I have a bunch of windows open and I can take a screenshot of all those windows and add it in. There's also other add-ins that you can add. I don't know what these are. I don't have any, so can even get some add-ins. You can even add information from Wikipedia. So there's a Wikipedia app for this. There's also online videos from YouTube or something. You can put in links, you can put in a bookmark which will allow you to go to that part, and you know, like for example, you can type section 2 and then you can put a bookmark there. So when you click that particular thing, it will bring you to section 2. Yeah, that's what it will do. There's also cross-referencing that you can do for your research. You can even include comments about anything you want. You can also include the header or the footer. And there's also page numbers. So header is like the thing that's on the top of the document, and footer is like the thing that's at the bottom of the, something like this. You can edit everything here. Footer is at the bottom, so you can put in different information. But usually you'll be using page numbers, and you can choose your page number from here and it will add it here. This is a footer. So you can close it after that. You can edit that as well if you want to. I don't want to really go too in detail anymore. Okay, I'm just kidding. I will go through this. Wait, where is the? So here in the header and footer, you can change all this information and add more information if you want. You can even change the different first page. Okay, so here's a tip. If let's say your first page is like a cover page, but you didn't use a cover page, and or technically if you put the cover page, it will kind of you know, make it will just hide the number here, and it will show 2, 3, and 4. But if you want to make it start from 1 on the second page, but you didn't use the cover page, what you can do is you can select it as basically you can make it such that the page number starts from 0. So if you click format page numbers, you can click number format, and there's a bunch of options here, but instead of using those things, I'll do this and I'll start from 0. So what this will do is, since this one is hidden, right, you don't see the number because different first page. But here you can see this is starting with page 1. So this will allow you to start with page 1 without including the cover page. Yeah, so that's what it will do. Okay, so apart from all these, there's also this normal text box. We have the usual word art, which I've already shown you the stuff. There's also auto text, which will put your name. You can put document property and fields and stuff like that, which I don't really use. Can you use a signature line? So you can put a suggested signer. For example, you can say, oh, who is signing? You can do all this stuff. I don't think anyone uses this, so it's also date and time. You can also put an object of sorts. Okay, cool. I think the last relevant thing for us is this particular thing, which is equation. So you can just click insert new equation, and then you can choose different symbols and text and everything here. There's also different kinds of where you can show it as Unicode, LaTeX, or text. You can even convert the format and everything here. Only thing, the font is a little bit limited because it tends to stay in Cambria Mac. So you can add in any different fractions and stuff like that. So you can use this to, you know, write equations properly instead of having to use, you know, just the asterisks and slash every time. So you can do all kinds of cool stuff with this. So you can even put matrices and stuff like that here. So that is equation and formula. So, or if you don't want to include the entire equation, but you just want a symbol, like maybe you just want to put ohm in behind a number, but you're not really doing much of any equation, you can just do this. You can just click one of these symbols and add it behind. Because even more symbols I can look through and select from. Okay, so that's basically all the insert. So the next tab is design. Design is you know, you can design the overall theme of the document. I don't really use this because it's like you have to follow this particular design and it's kind of weird. So I rather just do my own formatting for whatever it is that I need. So I can even choose a bunch of designs. I'll just choose this because it's the default one. There's a whole bunch of ways of doing your style set. There's also color options that you can use. So this is the current one, which is the basic color. So if you want to you have the color options there, right? It show from the lightest to the darkest, but they always use this set of colors. So if you want to use a different set of colors, like you like a lot of oranges and blues, you can do this. So let's say if I click blue, and then if I go here, it will now change the colors that you can choose from, the theme colors. And you can choose all these cool aqua colors if you want to. I mean, if you don't really want to choose the theme colors, you can even just go to more colors and then just select one of those colors. So it's not really that hard to do that. So apart from colors, you can even choose fonts, like the default font for this particular document, or you can choose all these basic like overall stuff that you can choose for the document. So yeah, we have all these cool styles and effects and everything. You can even put a watermark like confidential, or you can change the page color. Like if you like this color, you can make this whole color. You can even put page borders, like cool. You can put a shadow or a 3D border or something. So you might be wondering what that does. This is what it looks like. So yeah, you have all these design options. So design options aside, the next thing that is pretty useful is the layout, because sometimes you have certain specifications for your margins. So the normal margin is 2.54 on all sides. If you want a narrow one, you have to make it, you can make it narrower. If you want moderate, wide, mirrored, mirrored, I'm not sure what this is. I think it just mirrors on both sides or something. Yeah. And you also have the Office 2003 default. So let's go back to normal. You also have orientation, portrait, or landscape. So if you select landscape, it will change the document to a landscape formation. So let's say if you're writing your notes and you want more length, like width for your stuff to write, then you can choose this. You can also choose the size of the document according to what you're printing and the columns. Yeah, so sometimes if you're typing a bunch of stuff and you realize they're all in like only one half of the document, and you want to maximize the space, you can change the number of columns to 2. So like once you finish typing on one side, it will just start, it will go back to the next side and then start, continuing from there. So you can actually do that with your column. It can even include page breaks and all kinds of weird breaks as well, and line numbers. If you're doing a comprehension, you can put line numbers, even hyphenation of sorts, and then indents and spacings and stuff like that. So you can include all these things. Okay. And the next one is references. This is for when you're doing your reference list. But usually you will probably just use some online citation website and then just copy paste. But if you want to use this, you can create a table of contents, which is useful for your PW. And then you can add text in the table of content. You can update the thing accordingly. So what it will do is will link it with all of the headings on your document. So according to what page it is, a number will be updated accordingly. Yeah, so like if you actually do link the table of contents to whatever you're typing, you can actually update the page number accordingly without much issue. You can even include footnotes, which will allow you to reference it to something in your reference list. So for example, if I insert a footnote here, I need to put 1, and then you can put some information, or you can put the reference here. Uh, there's also an endnote, which is slightly different because this will put the thing at the very end, like the end of a chapter, for example, or just like a reference list. So there's also searching, and you can also put a citation. So it's actually a citation tool in Word document just to put citations, and you can even use different styles as well. Cool, right? That's pretty cool. So then we have this, which I don't think anyone uses. This is mail merge. So you can create a document for sending to a bunch of different people. You can automatically send it and do all the stuff. There's also review. You can review your spelling. You can use a thesaurus to check the the different ways to say the same thing. You can look at your word count, which is already here. This is 46 words. You can check the accessibility. You can translate certain things if you're willing to trust the Microsoft translator. Or you can select what language you're actually typing in so that it doesn't just highlight all your French text as red underlined. You can also do it here, so you can just click here and then change the language you use. You can also look at the comments one by one like that. You can track changes if you want. You can show markups and stuff. You can accept or reject changes. And yeah, you can even restrict editing so that people don't edit it. And you can compare it. You can look at two different versions of the document or something like that. So you can do all that stuff. You can even look at view. Okay, so view will allow you to view it in different ways. So you can look at it in read mode, which does this. You can look at it in so if you're done with this read mode, you can click this again, so it'll go back to a normal print layout. You can even go to web layout, which will look like a website. You can look at outline. You can look at the draft. So you can look at it in many different ways. You can even look at it in immersive reader. So what this will do is it will read it for you. Okay, this is funny. Okay, so you can just read it aloud for you, make it read aloud for you. So there's also page movement, which is vertical to vertical, or you can go side to side, which is weird. Okay, never mind. Yeah, there's even a ruler which you can see when you're adjusting things. Ruler, there's grid lines. Oh my god, what is this? And there's a navigation pane you can use to navigate the document. There's also zooming, which you can use to zoom, or you can just use this thing to zoom in and out. You can even put it at 100% zoom. You can look at one page, multiple page width. Okay, zoom it to the page width. You can make a new window. You can create a new window, you can arrange all, or you can split. You can even switch windows from one to another, and you can add macros and also got properties. Finally, we have the final section, which is the help section, and you can use this to get help. You can click the online helps, and you'll even get training to learn how to use the Word document. Yeah, so we are done. I hope you find whatever I did here today interesting. If you did, please press the like button, and if you have any suggestions for things I should cover, then please go ahead and PM me. Yeah, so I hope this video was useful, and with that, I would like to say thank you and bye.